Mirëmbrëma shikues të televizionit të VN dhe shikues të këndit të debatit. Jemi kësaj radhe këtu në zyrët e misionit pra të EULEX-it në Kosovë, ku do të realizojmë një intervistë ekskluzive me zëdhënësën e EULEX-it Nicole Miller rreth situatës në 4 komunat veriore, por edhe punën e EULEX-it në Republikën e Kosovës. Mrs. Nicole, thank you very much to host the TV1 in the office of EULEX.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you with us this morning.
I start the interview with you with some actions have been undertaken in the 4 Northern municipality by the institutions of the Republic of Kosovo for the closure of parallel Serbian structures. How have you seen these actions in which EULEX has also been part of it?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for the question. Let me start a little bit by explaining our mandate and how we operate in the North, because it's relevant to this interview. So under its current mandate, EULEX is mandated to conduct a robust, systemic and thematic monitoring of selected cases throughout the entire chain of criminal justice. This includes the police. Why do we do this? The aim of this robust monitoring is to assess whether all Kosovo institutions adhere to their human rights obligations. So that's the background. You mentioned we were involved in these. EULEX is not involved in the operations that happen in the North. We are there during some of them, not all of them, in our monitoring capacity. And if during the carrying out of our robust monitoring we notice that there are any shortcomings, what do? We address them with the authorities concerned. Now, mentioning the parallel structures, as you said, the EU has stated in various fora that anything relating to the closure of parallel structures needs to be addressed in the EU facilitated dialogue. That needs to be kept in mind. That's quite important.
When we talk about the security in the 4 northern municipalities, it seems that we have a situation of normality. But how is it assessed from the side of EULEX?
So, overall, the way we assess it, the situation in the north is stable and calm. But it is fragile, as we've seen also in recent years. So, in order to ensure that we, as EULEX, keep the safety and security of all communities in Kosovo as our priority, we remain vigilant and we're carrying out monitoring activities. I'd like to go a little bit as well into how we do this, because EULEX does not operate in a vacuum. We are part of the 3-tiered security mechanism in Kosovo. What does this mean? So, of course, Kosovo Police is the first security responder in Kosovo. EULEX is the second, and KFOR is the third. This is why I say we don't operate in a vacuum. So EULEX stands ready to intervene if requested and if necessary in order to ensure that public order is maintained. But as I said earlier, the safety of all communities in Kosovo remains a priority for us.
Recently, we have seen the increase of EUFOR troops. What are the reasons for the increase in the number of Jandarmerie members?
So let me start by correcting you a little bit. Yeah. They're not EUFOR, they're Eurogend4. Eurogend4. Yeah. Eurogend4 stands for European Gendarmerie Force. Yeah. The acronym is Eurogend4. So just a little bit of a background. Yeah. In September this year, which is exactly last month, we, as EULEX, received the deployment of what is known as RFPU. What is the RFPU? I'll explain to you. Yeah. It is the Reserve Formed Police Unit. So, as you may know, we have the Formed Police Unit. They are composed of 105 Polish officers, and they carry out patrolling 24/7, mostly in the north. So, with the deployment of the RFPU, we have now doubled our ability to carry out patrols. Why are they here? I'll explain a bit. They came just before the municipal elections on the 12th of October. And they came from the Eurogent 4. What is the Eurogent 4? It's a gendarmerie force. Their headquarters is in Vicenza, in Italy. And through the member states, they are able to contribute officers, highly skilled officers actually, to missions like EULEX. This time, the composition of our reserve formed police unit is composed of officers from, we have France, Italy, we have the Netherlands, Poland and Portugal, so it's quite a mix. And also, this is our 6th deployment of the RFPU in the last few years. So it's not something that's happened now. We had them also earlier this year when we had the general elections in February.
Does it grow up, these numbers of gendarmes or something?
No, I mean, we have the FPU, the formed police unit, and when we have the RFPU, then of course the numbers increase, but for a temporary period, because the RFPU are not here for a long time, clearly. And what do the RFPU do? They assist the FPU. That's why they're called the Reserve Formed Police Unit. So the duties of the FPU are carried out normally. So we have the assessing of the security situation, etc., and they carry out patrols 24/7, and the RFPU stand ready to assist them if requested and if needed, just to ensure that the security situation remains what it is. Also, it's also a clear message that with the deployment of the FPU and the RFPU, EULEX also shows that we're not only here to advise or to monitor, but we also stand ready to intervene if requested and necessary. Yes.
When we are in the patrol, during patrols in the 4 northern municipalities, is it noticed that there may be a tendency for destabilization of security or something like this?
No, as I said earlier, from what we notice, the situation in the north remains calm, it remains stable, but it's fragile. It's fragile.
When we are that fragile, what kind of situation fragile is?
Well, I can give you an example. If we're looking at the closure of a parallel structure, especially if it would concern an educational or a health facility, that may lead to a destabilization of the situation in the north. However, again, as we said earlier, the closure of parallel structures, it's very, very important that they're addressed in the correct forum. And this is the EU facilitated dialogue.
How ready, you said earlier, but how ready is EULEX to react in case of facing such tensions?
We're very ready in the sense that we carry out our patrols on a 24/7 basis, and we are ready to assist. However, I also want to stress, as I stressed earlier, we don't operate in a vacuum. So EULEX cannot decide to intervene on its own. We have the 3-tiered security responder mechanism, as I explained earlier. So we've got KP, we've got EULEX, and we've got K4. We don't operate in a vacuum. We operate with our partners. We coordinate with our partners. That's very important. And the coordination between the 3 of us is not only necessary, but it's excellent. So.
How is the partnership with the Kosovo institution, Kosovo police, or some? It's
excellent. It's excellent. Otherwise, the 3-tiered security mechanism wouldn't work. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. If everybody operated under different agendas, it wouldn't work. But we are here for the safety of all communities. That remains our massive priority. But the 3-tiered security responder mechanism remains vital.
Finally, we have attack of the September 24 in Banjska of Zvečan, where Sergeant Afrin Bunjak was killed. But the person responsible for attack, Milan Radovic, is free in Serbia. Is this seen as a risk for creating tension, and how do you assess that Serbia is not bringing before justice for the 45 persons who were in the indictment for the special prosecutor from Kosovo?
Let me start by saying, as we always say, that we really regret the loss of life of any officer operating in the line of duty. That's the bottom line. Now, as you're aware, there is a trial ongoing concerning the Banjska case. So at this point, we will let justice take its course. But what's important to us is that all those accountable, not only for the Banjska attack, but for any other issue that happens, are brought to justice. That is very important for us. All those responsible need to be held accountable, not only for Banjska. But given that there is an ongoing trial, we will let the authorities do their job and we'll let justice take its course.
For final, your messages to the audience of TV1 or something like this, if you want.
Yes, of course. Well, it's been a pleasure to carry out this interview with you. I hope that through this interview I've managed to explain in a little bit more detail our mandate, especially what we do in the North. And as we always say, EULEX is here for the benefit of all communities in Kosovo. I'd like to stress that point. But thank you very much.
Thank you very much to do together this interview exclusive for TV1.
Thank you very much.
Ka që kishim nga kjo intervistë realizuar me zëdhënësën EULEX-it Nicole Miller, shihemi në intervistat e radhës.